Hey guys, Mo Trapper. I just did a little experiment and I thought it was kind of interesting, and I thought I'd do a video on it real quick to show you guys what this thing is showing. So I've used this Sullivan's trap pan tester for years now. You know, when you get it, it says, you know, each mark represents 1 pound. So each one of these black lines represents 1 pound. And I've heard people say, you know, they're not very accurate. And I mean, it's hard to say with something like this whether or not it's accurate. I mean, obviously there's a spring inside there that's controlling the amount of pressure just on the end of a steel rod. You know, this is not shaped anything like a coyote's foot or a bobcat's foot, so it's putting the pressure on a much smaller area than what would be, you know, an animal actually stepping on a trap pan. But, you know, this is a reasonable approximation to give you an idea of what your trap pan tension is like, right? So, but I've got this digital scale here, and I just wanted to show you. This thing is actually, you know, pretty doggone close. So let's bring it down to the white line, and we're at, you know, right there's 1 pound. It's really hard to hold it steady enough to be exactly 1 pound, but we're basically right at that black line. We go down to the second black line, and we're, you know, pretty doggone close to 2. We go down to the third line, and again we're creeping up. There's, you know, 3 pounds right there, pretty close. 4 pounds, pretty doggone close to that black line. And then when you bottom it out, you're pretty doggone close to 5 pounds, right? So for, you know, for just being a couple of pieces of PVC, a steel rod and a spring, you know, being kind of a crude method of testing pan tension, I think they're doing a pretty doggone good job. And I'm sure, you know, they're not accurate to the ounce. I'm sure if you had 2 of these, they would probably come out just a little bit different on a scale. But, you know, for what we're doing, I think this thing is plenty close enough to give you, you know, at least an idea of where your trap pan tension is. And once you set a bunch of traps and snap them off with your thumb, you know, and use this occasionally to verify, you can kind of calibrate your finger or your thumb to know about, you know, what is 2 pounds, what is 3 pounds, or whatever the pan tension is that you want. You can kind of calibrate your thumb, and then, you know, you don't have to use it all the time, but it is very good, especially in the beginning, to kind of get a feel for what pan tension feels like, what 2 pounds of pan tension feels like, what 3 pounds of pan tension feels like, and then decide what kind of pan tension you like as far as poundage. And then, you know, like I said, kind of calibrate yourself to that. Then you can set them and snap them off and know that they're within that range that you're happy with, and you can get them all set pretty much the same. So anyway, thought that was interesting how closely this thing comes out to the actual poundage that they're calling for on a scale. And that's it. Thanks.